Okay.
Working on dinner.
I'm working on it.
Working.
This changes everything.
Stab Tessian.
I'm gonna come up from behind Tessian.
Oh God, Wet Willie. Jesus.
Your
And
instinct is to cover your ears.
I'm gonna tell him. So we've had a productive afternoon.
God, like, how creepy are you? Like, what do you mean you come up behind me? Are you, like, in my ear? You're like, we've had a productive
Yes. and I'm fondling your ass while I talk. No, I just keeping my voice low and saying, we've had a
But, like,
productive...
are we having a conversation, or are you, like, trying to look away like we're not actually talking? Like, what is happening here?
I'm gonna come up from behind.
This is the Isaac ASMR channel.
Feel his hot breath on your neck as he sniffs your hair.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna. Yeah, you don't need to be looking at me. If you want to, that's fine. But if you're down, like, filling up plates of food, I'm gonna be doing the same thing, pretending that it's a coincidental and not like, hey, friend.
Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. Okay, I'm trying to set this in my head.
No,
what are you doing here?
I get it.
So you say you had a productive evening, and Tessian will kind of catch on that what you're doing and not like look directly at you, but we'll say, yes. So did we actually.
I guess I say, so it's 8 whatever right now.
30 or 40 minutes.
I'm gonna say, let's meet back at the room, and I'll go over some details there.
And Tessian is like, well, that works. I'm delivering food up to Lena as we speak.
Food, that's a good idea. And I will go... I'm not particularly hungry right now, but I might go to Grail and Karash and just be like, we have some time to kill. Tessian's over there getting food if you want to fill up some plates, and we're planning on all meeting in the room to recap.
All right.
Shall I like reduce money for our food? Is that a thing we're doing?
It's okay. The complimentary buffet is once a day.
Yes.
I'll make sure to get some Jell-O. I'm sure they have Jell-O at this complimentary buffet.
Absolutely. It's basically a hometown buffet.
If they have any fish at all, I'm taking all of it.
They do.
Some mashed potatoes.
The people that are kind of manning the stations give you a bit of a look when you have a plate full of, like, the all 9 pieces of fish they currently had up there, but they just kind of sigh and they go to the back to refill it.
I'm
I will wait for
gonna
them to
keep eating
refill
my
it.
own rations. I don't fucking trust anywhere else is giving us food. I want you all to know ever again. I don't trust it. For all we know, Succubus is the CMO of the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh no.
Right. Which means they've really been lacking for leadership the last couple days.
Yes.
Where's the boss? Somebody cut her head off. Oh. Oh, that's
So
Maybe did not pull her skull out in the dining room.
yeah. It's bad decorum.
I'm gonna be up in the room.
Okay, so you guys eventually fill up your plates with food, bring some stuff for Lena, and you all make your way back to the friendly confines of room 523 of Publica.
And I close the windows and like put like a blanket towel like at the crease of the door on the bottom, and seeming a little paranoid after our afternoon and how that's gone. And then I'll just, for our side of it, I will just update Tessian and Lena on everything that we did, including Aurora and the dock master. I will leave out no detail. I'll leave out no details, so you will know that I gave our room number and all of that. So I should actually stop there if you have any.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with Aurora.
Okay, that's good. That's a good place to start. And then you get eventually to, by the way, I might have compromised our hotel room, and I'm also shoving towels under our door. And Tessian's a little concerned at this point, and he's like, so we should leave? Is that what? What? You're not that stupid, are you?
I don't think we've been compromised. It was a little risky, but we felt like it was a chance we had to take, and it yielded results. we have a number of leads now. One of which being Aurora, which she and I and Karash are meeting with at 9 in this very bar downstairs.
And Tessian's like, can you guarantee that this information doesn't make it back to your father?
No, I can't. But this is all I have right now.
Okay, Tessian gives Lena a very not happy look. Like a this is bad. And
Yeah. I look concerned. A little concerned.
Tessian's very concerned.
Well, we followed 2 of the men, and I'm going to describe the whole thing, what they were wearing, how they were abnormally quiet, where we followed them to, and I'll give the location. That store. What was the store? It was a storefront. And what was it? We walked out around the front, and maybe it doesn't matter.
We never made it distinguishable, but we made a note of what it was, so
Yeah.
you could trace your steps back to it.
Yeah. What it was and where it was.
Yeah.
And that the men were heavily armed and dangerous.
And Tessian's like, exactly. So how do we know they aren't going to barge in here in the middle of the night and kill us all?
Grail, I think will agree. We have reason to believe that those that we spoke to are on our side. Aurora has some connections, and she assured us that we were speaking to those, and that it's all good for now.
That was my impression. Yeah.
They're also, they have her husband too. Kevin?
Keith.
Keith. I was a K. Keith.
Karash?
Tessian will look to Grail. Grail seems not particularly worried, I take it? She seems to trust this?
Yeah. I truly seem like unfazed. Though again, I don't think I quite understand maybe the gravity of what we did. Like I think there's a distance there. But yeah, no, she does feel pretty confident.
Tessian will sort of lean to Lena and just be like, we may want to consider getting a room elsewhere, at least for the evening.
No. We should get the room next door.
Why next door?
So we can see if we have indeed compromised our location. That's not a bad idea, Karash.
Yes.
That's true.
I consider this.
Tessian considers it as well. He's like, well, if we're going to do that, and he will look to Grail, and he's like, we will want to make sure that whoever purchases this room is not affiliated with us. He's trying to imply that some of us may need to be somebody else when they purchase the room.
Got it. I'm so tired. I'm sorry. I think that's something that I could arrange. Yep.
God, how much was it for the room? Was it 10 gold or was it 5 gold?
10.
Well, if you weren't throwing money around on tickets like it was made out of trees.
Look, some of us have secured forms of income, or at least attempting to, so I don't want to hear it. He'll give Grail 10 gold so that we can buy the next room over.
All right. I will do that. I will do the thing.
Or as close to, I guess. To be fair, we don't know that that's vacant.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I guess we can go find out. I can go ahead. I'll go ahead and use a disguise self spell. If you want to just go ahead and do this right now.
We
Great.
should probably do it soon.
Okay.
At least Tessian will point out that there's no guarantee that this woman, Aurora, has not been followed herself.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll go ahead and disguise self as a probably just like a generic like elf or something like that. Long hair, like long black hair, and just kind of like normal traveler's clothes. And I'll actually like set aside my banjo, and I'll head down there.
Okay.
Tessian, I want to hear if you were able to visit the guild, but this is pressing. We meet with Aurora soon at the bar. I'm going to go now. I suppose you're welcome to join us. Karash was going to join me. If you'd rather sit this one out, that's fine.
Tessian kind of looks to Lena to see what her thoughts are on this situation.
I respond, if you want to join him to get that information, I don't see why not. It is partly why we originally came here.
And what will you be doing?
I think for a moment. I didn't really have a plan. I suppose I could go down there as well and perhaps keep an eye on things.
Just like, well, we could have a few drinks a few tables away.
That sounds acceptable.
So I guess we'll just park ourselves in the general vicinity.
Okay. Then I guess we're all going downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Grail.
Actually, no,
Yep.
that would be silly. We should wait so that if Grail changes the room, we can move our
Yes.
stuff out. Okay, we'll
Yeah,
wait for
I was-
Grail to return.
Yeah.
Wait, before I go down there, what is the number of the
What
room?
is the number?
50
523.
And what's the one we want to move over to?
Oh,
closest.
I mean,
Probably
nearby.
should have looked at that before you went downstairs.
I'm not downstairs yet. I said I was going to start heading down, but I would definitely look before I do that.
I mean, you could, in theory, like just start like knocking on doors, or if you really cared to see if they were vacant or not,
Well,
but
I
or
have
just
an idea.
eyeball.
I have an idea. Like if it's numbered, I have an idea. So
Okay.
um,
So go ahead
So
down to the
sit
front
maybe
desk. Different
24?
different individual there than what Tessian originally got the room from, since that was this morning. A female
Okay.
clerk.
Mhm.
Says, "Welcome to Publica. How can I help you?"
Hi there. My name's Agnes. I'm looking for a room if you have any to spare.
Sure, we have plenty of rooms available. There's so many rooms to begin with. I mean, we live to serve our customers. What kind of room would you like?
Well,
Inexpensive one, a moderate one, or something more high end?
Actually, I've been here once before traveling, and I believe the number was 24, and it had a great view of the city. Is there any chance that I could have that room again?
We're assuming you meant 524.
Yes.
Yes. Make a deception check.
Okay. I think I'm actually pretty decent at those.
Don't say
No, I'm
that.
not. I'm not, actually.
This is the biggest lie.
It's the biggest lie.
Just remember, if you get caught, you go bigger with a bigger lie.
Guess
So-
what? I rolled a nat 1.
Oh
What is with this group today?
It's not my fault!
If your name's not Lena, you might as well just eat your dice.
Why are you lying at all? Just say you want room 524.
It's not a huge lie!
I'm just kidding.
So
It would
she's,
feel weird to just ask for a specific room without an actual story behind it.
she says, "Agnes, eh? A return customer. We always love to see those. What's your last name?"
My last name's Whittlewood.
Agnes Whittlewood. Truly lovely.
That's awesome.
Let me look in our ledger to see when your previous visit was. And she starts
Oh,
flipping through a
great.
book at the desk. Just
And then I'm gonna stop her and say, while it's true that is absolutely my name, I was here under very special business the last time, so I did not have that exact name, so you won't find it there.
I see. And she looks a little perplexed at this. Well,
And then I got no.
Like, this is when you need to start unbuttoning like your shirt and
Yeah.
just, like, hey, look.
Persuasion.
I'm just going for it.
were you gonna say something else? It sounded like you were. Or is that?
I was, but you know what? I'm just gonna let it go.
Okay. She's like, well, I regret to inform you, 524 has already been booked by another customer.
That's unfortunate. Is there anything in that same area?
Well, I suppose, let's see. 525 is full, 523 has occupancy. There's a 522 available if it was just the view that you liked or something of that nature.
I think that would actually be perfect.
Well, very well. It'll be 10 gold then.
Okay. I dig it out of my pocket and I hand it to her.
Okay.
I can't believe she's fine with that.
Customer's a customer. The better question is, what reason does she have to believe that someone's going to come and lie to her fucking face about a name? Unless she's already deeply distrustful.
Oh, shit.
And maybe it didn't go as smoothly as you thought. Who knows? In any case, she does ask you what name she should put down for the room.
I again say, Agnes Whittlewood is just fine, thank you.
Okay. She gives you the slightest side eye, but she writes it down on the ledger. Hands you the key for 522.
What is wrong with my name?
No. It's. We'll find out or we won't. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, hands you the key for 522. Takes the gold pieces. Sends you off on your merry way, seemingly none the wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else,
Right.
I believe, then starts to make their way downstairs. I'm assuming separately, so as not to arouse suspicion or whatever.
Grail,
Exactly.
how did it go, Grail?
And I kind of like side eye you in like a playful kind of a way. Just be like, please don't ask me that.
Good, so well. Excellent.
Very well. And then I kind of like flash him the key and say, it wasn't what we wanted, but I think it's something that'll do.
Okay. So we move our stuff. So where is 522
That's a question.
comparatively to 520?
Directly across the hall.
Okay. Perfect.
That's great.
Even
That's great.
better.
Yeah, honestly.
Do these rooms have any sort of? Well, they have keyholes, right? You
They
look
have
through the
keyholes.
keyhole.
No, like, what is it called? Peephole or whatever the...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you put the
Wow.
Do Not Disturb sign up?
Obviously, it's the first thing everyone does.
Yeah, okay. Standard.
Before we leave the first room, I'm gonna put the mark of cord on the inside of the door.
Great.
Okay.
I'm gonna also put the Do Not Disturb sign on the other door too.
Okay.
By put the
Yeah, are we-
cord in.
are we
do you
talking
mean you're
carve?
defacing? Yeah, are you carving it?
No, just drawing, not carving. I'm not a complete
He's
asshole.
actually burning it into the wood.
He actually took down the door so
It
he could carve on
actually
it.
burned the
I feel
whole
like
room.
even if you're just drawing it, Tessian will tell you should not do that. Tessian is I mean, I know this is really hypocritical coming from me, but you don't know. Tessian is like, they will charge us extra if they have to clean up stuff like that.
We'll wash it off before we go.
I was shooting for I don't know what the hell I would have on hand. I was shooting for something that would not actually be permanent, that would be fairly easy to clean off.
I would imagine like charcoal or something.
Chalk, charcoal. Yeah.
Sure. I'll take a chunk of
Sharpie.
wood out of the fireplace if there's one in the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm still doing it.
He wouldn't say anything and then because he can actually get rid of it himself with prestidigitation. So
You're an asshole.
All right. So you guys move your stuff over across the hall into the new room.
Operation Information is a go.
All right, so we talked about the layout of the downstairs. The bar area is over kind of on the far right side. There's also still all those common seating areas that you saw when you first walked in, more towards the middle. There's like a whole restaurant area. So like this is a big room. So just give me in a general sense what we're looking at here as far as layout.
I'm going to be at the center of the bar.
Okay.
Make sure that there's a seat open next to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave and I'm going to kind of like hang out near the entrance. And I'm still in my disguise, which I think is great actually. So yeah, I'm gonna hang out there and then I might come in and just like mill about, have a drink and just be distanced.
I'm going to laugh when the clerk is like, there she is. That's that Whittlewood. And like security guards are there.
Agnes Whittlewood. That's not a name.
Whittlewood's a a great last name, okay? I came up with it totally like on the fly.
I'm gonna take up a position by myself, somewhere within like 50 feet of wherever, like so I can see Isaac, and I'm gonna do my best to be a grumpy asshole so that nobody tries to sit at my table with me.
Okay.
So you're just gonna be yourself.
Yeah, just be you.
Okay.
Is there a card game? Somebody playing something? Entertainment, something like that in this main area?
God, at a place of this size, I'm sure you could find a couple of different card games going on, yeah.
I think Tessian will just join a card game.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch with fascination.
From where?
I'll sit at the table with them if that's cool.
You could also see if there's someone that'll just melt our money down without having to go through the charade.
Right. Alchemy.
I imagine Lena like behind Tessian as like the women who blow on the dice
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Yes.
they don't let you sit at the table if you're not playing, but you're welcome to stand by Tessian if you'd like to.
Okay, that's fine. I will.
Because
do
they kind
that.
of give you a look like they don't want any funny business, somebody else who's just sitting there observing the other players while, it's a whole thing.
But I look at them really innocently. I'm like, I don't know why you'd think I would do that, but I still stand by
They
it.
don't-
with
they don't
those
budge.
doe eyes.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
Lando Calrissian this stuff.
Yeah.
Pop my cape a little bit,
Win something for us.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll lose it all with the way I've been rolling.
Yeah, that's true. It's a bad look.
I'm gonna get the bartender's attention.
Okay.
What's the cheapest thing you have?
Well, we have water.
Give me the ale of some sort.
Cheapest ale. Got it. And you can tell, he's happy to serve you on the one hand, but he's also like, well, this isn't going to be much of a tip if he's already asking for the cheapest thing possible. So he's serving you as little as possible. Here you go. Not unfriendly, just, all right, here you go. Slides it over to you.
I will pretend, but I will not actually take a single sip of this goddamn ale in front of me.
This is good.
The PBR, you got that PBR?
Yeah. Natty
Got a
ice.
tall boy.
Yep.
Natty Ice. Oh god.
Your 2 copper glass of natty ice.
Yep.
Okay, everybody is happy with their positions?
Yeah.
So, let's start making some rolls here. We'll do them in unison so that we can just get a general sense of how this is going. So, Grail, that's a perception check.
Okay.
Karash, that's a perception check. Lena, I guess, is a perception check. Tessian, not that you don't necessarily get to roll perception, but I'm assuming if you're actually going to be playing this game.
I'm only vaguely keeping track of what's happening. I figure if there's a commotion, it will be obvious. So I kind of am not paying attention on purpose. I just want to be present.
So make a performance check.
Is it pretty busy tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you guys walked in to first get a room in the morning, there were already a couple hundred people in here. And again, it's a huge place, so that was still maybe 30% capacity or so. Now that it's the nighttime, the place is rocking. In fact, it has taken Karash you some work to keep people away from the table because the tables are in pretty high demand. But you have managed to keep people away just by kind of glaring at them when they get close. But there's also not very many seats available at the bar either. The one you've kept open is, but it's pretty rare. There's only a handful of other open seats. It's real busy. What do we got?
Okay. I got a 20, not natural.
Okay.
I crit failed.
All right. Very, very engrossed in the card game.
Yes.
A 12 for my performance check.
Okay.
9.
I guess Isaac, you'll be keeping watch until you wait for her to show up too, so you can make a perception check.
I'm going to be ordering beer and
Of course.
carving at the skull to make it look all the more unpleasant to sit with me.
Critical perception.
Yeah. That's nice. That's
Okay.
good.
Damn. How many nose hairs do I have?
Sean always rolls so well. What the fuck?
You get used to it.
I know. I'm not quite there yet.
Tessian, over the course of the time that you spend playing this game to establish your cover, and or just to have fun doing it, you have 100 silver pieces on the table.
The cover is I am Tessian and I'm here to play card games. So
Yes.
it's a pretty solid cover.
Children's
Wait,
card
you
games.
didn't take some notes from what I did earlier? What the hell, Tessian?
To what? Use a fake name?
You're not even trying.
I was kidding. I just mean fucking everything up.
So you
My
sit
name
down.
is Tessie, and I'm here to win this money for my mother's medical care.
Her name is Agnes Whittlewood.
And we are staying in room 522. Damn it, we need a third room. You sit at this table with 100 silver pieces to buy into the game. And over the course of playing and for the time, you get 120 back. So you gain essentially 2 gold pieces if you want to add them to your coffers. You didn't play especially well. You know you could do better, but you also walked out with a small profit.
Oh, that works.
I'm intrigued the whole time.
Yeah, he goes on a bit of a downswing at the start, but you can see him kind of get his legs as the game goes on, and he ends up eking out a nice hand at the end and coming away with at least a little bit of profit. The whole thing is kind of new to you because nobody really does this in the Sowenwood.
Yeah, no. We don't have cards. I'm like, what?
There's like not really cards at all, and there sure as hell isn't gambling.
Yeah, no. We don't really have money. We don't care for that.
We're a bunch of fucking hippies.
I know, jeez.
Order system.
I'm surprised
Joyless
Grail isn't from
hippies.
there.
Goddamn rainbow gathering over here.
How many sandals in the village are made out of hemp? All right,
Exactly.
God.
so we had Grail with a 20, not nat, Karash with a 9, and Isaac with a natural 20. Yes. And Lena, what was
Yes.
your
I critical
failed? Right. So, you were in the card game. You have no
Yes.
clue what's going on around you. You've even kind of almost forgotten about the meeting in the first place.
I totally have. I'm like, what? Why are we here? Cards, right? Clearly.
Karash, you
Yep.
kind of keep an eye on things when you're not too busy looking at people who try and sit down and like shooing them off with your eye glare. And for the most part, things seem to check out. There's a piano across the room that's playing lively music. There's a lot of conversation. It's pretty like loud overall, just because there's so much hustle and bustle and so many people's in this space. Despite the fact that it's pretty expansive, there's just a ton of humanity in here. So at the very least, you kind of get the idea that just the ambience of the room itself is going to make for some cover for this conversation that Isaac's about to have. But nothing really sticks out as far as anything that seems out of place or off. Grail, over by the entrance, you keep an eye on things both near the bar and just survey the room as a whole. You see much the same as Karash did as far as just the hustle and bustle of people coming and going and sitting at tables and having conversations and drinks. Keeping an eye on the entrance, you don't really see anybody in particular that sticks out. You do immediately get first eyes on Aurora as she comes in. And you sort of nondescript keep an eye on her as she walks over to the bar. Doesn't seem like anybody comes in after her. There is another couple that comes in, but they go the opposite direction. Like they head off to the left towards where more of like the restaurant stuff is. So they don't really seem to be connected to her in any way.
When I see her come in, how is Isaac positioned? Like, is he positioned to see? I'm sorry if you said. Can you see the entrance, or use your back to the entrance? What's the deal?
Unless there's a mirror, I cannot see the entrance.
Okay, so I will quickly send you a message and just kind of whisper, she's here. It does not look like she's being followed.
And she, as she's walking in, looks your direction, sees you, does not acknowledge you.
Me?
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'm in disguise, so that makes sense.
exactly. Just looks like a regular elvish
Looks like
woman.
an Agnes.
I assume old because the name Agnes is for people who are 170 billion years old, but
I was at a cemetery today, and there were a lot of Agnes, and that's why I came up.
Pause. Why were you at a cemetery today?
I was walking around in the cemetery.
Oh.
It's fun.
I could do.
It was fun.
So we have the person who was just making fun of hippie forest now goes through graveyards on her spare time. So I think her opinion is null and void.
She was also making rainbow jokes. I don't know what the hell she's at this point.
I don't know either.
Wait, no, there's a specific thing called a rainbow gathering. A bunch of hippies go every year, and it's a whole thing.
You ruined his joke.
Awesome.
Way to ruin the joke.
I'm tired as hell. I'm sorry.
Isaac,
Yes.
you, despite the fact that you're not facing that direction, you can still see out of the side of your eye as she's approaching.
Hell
she's
yeah.
kind of walking astride alongside of the bar. So you know in advance, like, that's her. It's Aurora. Seems to be approaching. You can kind of verify what you've heard from Grail. Like, nobody's really walking anywhere near her as she approaches. You also notice, however, because it was a natural 20, there is a gentleman
Oh no.
in a tan duster
Oh shit.
sitting at a table by himself that you can just see out of the corner of your eye, whose eyes are trained in your direction.
I am going to say, yes, Grail. So you send, and then you can
Yes.
receive.
And it's like short messages, like bursts, yeah?
Yeah.
As Scanlan Shorthall, or not Scanlan, as Knot would say, you can reply to this message in Critical Role.
Noted. There's a man in a gray or tan. You said
Tan.
in a tan duster in the table behind me. Check him out, will you? He is looking in our direction.
Okay. I will do that very much so.
I will check him out.
What?
I will check him out, and he will be handsome.
I know she's gonna be like, I saw him. He looks pretty hot.
Yeah.
No, Grail.
His piercing gaze, whoa, vapors.
Yeah, okay, so do I have to do some kind of like check for this?
Yeah, make another perception check. You've been given a direction to look.
Yeah. 12.
Okay, so we'll resolve that in a second. So Aurora approaches you, Isaac.
As soon as I got the message and I guess saw her, I would have tried to get the bartender's attention.
Okay, and he, at least a little bit begrudgingly, comes back over. So, what'll it be this time?
I'll take another one of these, please.
Of course, sir. And turns around.
It's full still.
Yeah,
so
he sees, he kind of looks, he's like, okay, but he also sees the other person approaching, so he figures that might be what it's for. He doesn't care as much as, it's another 2 copper for him, so whatever. Whatever your deal is, he's not worried about it. Slides a second glass over your way.